Hey guys, curdhos here. Um, Actually, I'm filming this at the same time on my laptop. This is going to be my first Periscope, um, so we'll see how it goes. It's 5:16 a.m. here on Wednesday morning. I own Hostyle Conditioning, a company in Ottawa, Canada, and we do a strength and conditioning. I'm a power lifter, in case you can't tell, maybe show here at Periscope, but I'm a pretty big guy. I specialize in the bench press as far as myself for the last 25 years. But my company, what we do at Hostile Conditioning is we focus on men and women over 45 years old, all about getting them fitter, stronger, healthier. I myself used to weigh at one point 400 pounds. Now I weigh about 310. I've gone as low as 280 pounds. I've always been in the fitness industry. I've had a gym off and on for 20, 25 years. The thing I used to do the most is like a normal gym, a normal type situation. And then I had retail. I sold fitness equipment. I sold sports supplements. I sold accessories. I did that for about 15 years at 4 or 5 locations. And in that time, I'd gotten so busy working on the business and with the stress of the business that I actually had stopped training. My life had become pretty unmanageable. And I ballooned up to 400 pounds. I used to drink a lot. I was always strong, so in my head, as long as I could bench a lot of weight, I was fine and there was nothing wrong. But in reality, I mean, I had trouble going up a set of stairs. Um, my quality of life had just deteriorated between the stress and the physical weight gain. I was a mess. So one day I had the typical epiphany where I actually woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I was pretty upset. And I woke my wife up and I told her I couldn't do what I was doing anymore, and sat there and took the piece of paper, drew the line down the middle, like they say, and did the good and the bad, good on one side, bad on the other, and the bad was actually quite lengthy. And that morning, I started making drastic changes. I closed 3 locations. I got rid of 2 partners, and I just started cutting things out of my life that were not positive, that were negative, and that were draining me. All that to say, basically, at the end of it, I went from 5 locations down to one retail location, about 2,500 square feet, and I sat there trying to figure out what I was going to do with my business, with my life, and I decided I had to start working out again. I decided I had to get in better shape, and one day I was watching The Ultimate Fighter when it was, this is going back 8 years ago, 7 years ago, and they were doing this little workout. It was a Tuesday night, and they were doing this workout where they had to do so many push-ups, so many squats, and a cardio session. So they had to do 12 squats, 12 push-ups, and 60 seconds of box jumps. So I decided at home I would try this. So push-ups weren't a problem because I benched 500-600 pounds, so I could do push-ups all day long. The body weight squats, that became a little bit of a challenge, but what really kicked my butt was the cardio. I didn't have a cardio machine there, so what I did is just the stairs going up to the second floor. I just went up and down that one step, sort of a mini box step, if you will, and I did that for 60 seconds. So it was 12 push-ups, 12 squats, 60 seconds on the step, and the whole idea was to do as many rounds as that as you could do in um, in 30 minutes. Well, I lasted about 7.5, 8 minutes, and when I say lasted 7.5, 8 minutes, I was on the ground. I was floored. My eyes were, rolling around in my head. I couldn't believe how beat up I was over 2 little body weight exercises and a little bit of cardio. I knew I was out of shape, but I mean, I didn't think that was going to be that taxing. So gathered myself up the following Thursday when the Ultimate Fighter was showing the replay of the same episode. I decided to do the same workout, and I think I lasted maybe 9 minutes that way. So all I did was Tuesdays and Thursdays was this conditioning, a little workout, where I just kept trying to get as many rounds in as I could. 30 days later, I was able to do something like 23 rounds in the 30 minutes, 24 rounds. Basically, I was able to go nonstop. I had dropped 20 pounds, and in the store one day, one of my clients came in to buy some protein, and she asked me, she goes, "You look different. Are you doing something different? Like you lost weight?" And I told her about this little routine I was doing. So she said, "That's interesting. Would you train me?" And I hadn't trained people in a long time. I hadn't had a gym in about 4 or 5 years at that point, and the thought of training people hadn't crossed my mind. But I said, "Sure, why not? Come in next Tuesday night at 6, and we'll do a workout." She was my very first client. I went from a retail spot to starting to train people on Tuesdays in a small group setting, so like the mini boot camp thing. Um, And then from there, one person became two became four. Next thing you know, I had about 8, 9 people coming in on Tuesday nights at 6. So I decided to get into open up a Thursday session. So I opened up a Thursday session, and 8 years later, I'm in an 8,000 square foot facility. I have about 300 members. We're a little more of a high end boot camp, strength and conditioning. My focus is kettlebell training, powerlifting, and then conditioning and functional movement and stuff. So take all the cool parts of a boot camp, roll it into some strength training, powerlifting, deadlifting, squatting, and then throw in a ton of good kettlebell training. And that's the type of training that we do here at Hostile Conditioning. So and what's really cool is almost 8 years later, that same girl, that same client is still my client to this day. So that was actually, she reminded me the other day when she came in for a workout that she'd been with us for 8 years. So that was pretty cool. So along the way, I, decided that I really enjoyed training people at this type of level. And because at the time, I'm 47 now, at the time, I think I just turned 40, I decided that I liked that type of clientele that was in the 40, 45-year-old range for a few reasons. One is that at that point we've decided that quality of life is really important. We also realized that we're halfway through. We're halfway through our lifespan, and it really is that. How do we want to live out the second half of our life? And then you know, people at that age, in my age, we're ready to invest in ourselves. We're not so much worried anymore about we've got the house, we've got the family, the business, the job, the career, and at that point we realize that it's really about how we feel about things going forward. So we want to be healthier, we want to be fitter, and we start investing in ourselves. So that's pretty much how hostile conditioning exploded. Like I said, the reason why I chose hostile conditioning is my last name's Haas, and a lot of people were asking me at the beginning when I started this, was I CrossFit? Was I kettlebells? Was I this? Was I that? And I really kept saying, well, I'm not sure what I'm going to call it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I said, it's my style. And then one day I just sat there and said, it's hostile. And, part of our mission statement is we're hostile towards mediocrity. We're hostile towards settling. We want to take action, and we want to change our life on the inside and on the outside. And, we've had a tremendous amount of success stories. People come in initially wanting to lose weight, which is great, but really what they get most excited about and what we get most pumped about here is all of a sudden what they can do and what they can accomplish. So, Mrs. Jones joins because she wants to lose 50 pounds, and she, 2 months from now or a month from now, she's more excited that she can do 5 full push-ups all the way down to the floor and back up again. And that's the story she'll tell everyone at the next Christmas party. And by the way, she'll also say, oh yeah, I lost 25 pounds, but she's more excited about the accomplishment. And that's really what we want to do, is get people to accomplish things again. The small things, feel good, move, get active, and just start enjoying the quality of life. So that's what we do here. And then my whole role that I want to do with my Periscope is start obviously reaching out to people and helping people as much as I can. I have started a podcast a while ago, so now it's time to get back into that. So that's why I'm sort of filming this at the same time, and I'm going to see how to transcribe this. This, like I said, it's about 5:25 in the morning here in Ottawa, Eastern North America, Canada. So I want to look at doing this every day around this time. I usually get up around 4:30, work on some personal ritual stuff. I follow the Miracle Morning, where I sit, I journalize, I do some affirmations, and then just some silence and some visualization, just prepare my mind for the day. That's something I've been doing for a couple months now, and one of the things on my list is to get back to doing my weekly videos and my podcast, and then now at the same time podcasts. I've been following podcasts now for about 3 or 4 weeks. It's pretty cool. I've been meaning to do this for a week or so, but like anything else, when you go to do something new, you're nervous, and it takes a lot of push to get outside of your comfort zone, and so it's time to walk the walk as well as talk the talk and stuff. So what I'll do is I'll end it here on the video, but I'll take the Periscope and we'll go and do a little walkabout, and I'll show you my facility here. Hang on, let me just click on stop.